Alright, it's October, the month of Halloween, and to celebrate, I'm going to be doing monster and horror movies all month long. So, pretty much the same thing I usually do. Okay, one difference is that I'm going to be focusing exclusively on horror movies for October, so don't expect anything family-friendly for the rest of the month. And to kick things off, let's start with a bona fide cult classic. That way I can show people that I can still riff a fun, well-made movie that I actually like, even though I've technically already done that. From Beyond is a 1986 horror movie from director Stuart Gordon, who's most famous for making the cult classic Reanimator, a movie based on an H.P. Lovecraft story that blended over-the-top gore and large doses of dark humor. Plus it showed a decapitated head-eating pussy. Reanimator was a surprise hit and got good reviews at a time when most mainstream critics didn't like horror movies, so the following year Gordon and producer Brian Yuzna decided to make another H.P. Lovecraft adaptation with From Beyond. And when I say adaptation, I mean they took the title and basic outline of the story and then just made their own movie. Yeah, even though H.P. Lovecraft's name is above the title, this movie is mainly the brainchild of Stuart Gordon, Brian Yuzna, and Charles Band, who co-produced and distributed the film through his company Empire Productions. Now, if you remember, Charles Band also produced Terror Vision, and if you thought the shit monster in that movie was gross, you are not gonna like this movie. So our main character is Dr. Crawford Tillinghast, played by Reanimator star Jeffrey Combs, doing what he was practically born to do, namely act jittery and creepy. Damn, looks like this place has enough computing power to run a Sega Master System game. Soon his dream of making the world's largest novelty plasma ball will finally be complete. Okay, actually this is a machine called the Resonator, which gives off vibrations that stimulate the pineal gland and expands perception. And do you know what else the Resonator does? It makes you see slimy eel monsters. Why in the hell would anyone invent something like that? It may not have been the best idea to get close to this thing, but at least he shuts the machine off right away, which makes him smarter than most of the characters in Prometheus.
Edward! Pretorius!
Crawford's working for another scientist called Dr. Edward Pretorius, and by giving him a name like that, his parents were practically guaranteeing that he'd grow up to be a mad scientist. Although, personally, he looks more like somebody who runs his own porno magazine. In addition to seeing monsters, the Resonator also has another effect. Apparently, it also gives you brain orgasms.
Edward, shut it off! Never!
Okay, well would you mind closing your robe at least? And I think something might be wrong. Turns out this experiment required blast processing.
Something's coming.
It's not you, is it? They better get this shit under control. They're bothering wacky sitcom neighbor lady here. Don't they know she needs to chase her husband around with a rolling pin? Plus she just lost her dog. Yeah, this woman would give her dog a name like Bunny. And you might want to be careful. Here's Jeffrey! Ironically, this is one of the only movies where you don't need to be afraid of Jeffrey Combs. Crawford is then arrested by the cops, presumably for the crime of being an elf man. And because the Cenobites forgot their chains, they just decided to twist Pretorius' head off. All of this happens before the opening credits, although I think it's weird the dog has both a co-starring credit and a last name. After he's arrested, Crawford is suspected of murdering Pretorius and has been committed to a psych ward. Which is apparently on the Enterprise, judging by those sound effects. Crawford gets a visit by a psychiatrist named Katherine McMichaels, and today's his lucky day. She's played by Barbara Crampton during her sexy librarian phase. Jeez, looks like Elfman was so bad it even drove Santa Claus insane. But at least they put multiple MIGs in a room where he can't throw his semen at people. Anyway, how's Crawford doing?
What was the purpose of the experiments?
To stimulate the pineal gland with resonant vibrations.
The pineal gland? Why?
I don't know, the machine he made to stimulate his prostate wasn't enough? Because that's sure what it looked like. Crawford explains that a parallel dimension exists alongside ours, and the Resonator allows people to see and interact with the creatures there and vice versa.
It ate him bit off his head like a gingerbread man.
Okay, if anyone out there doubts why Jeffrey Combs is a legend in the horror community, he just delivered a line involving a Christmas cookie and still managed to make it creepy. And I don't know why everyone thinks Jeffrey Combs is crazy. Don't they know this is just how he normally acts? However, after giving him a CAT scan, they make an important discovery.
The pineal gland is oversized and extending through the optic thalami. I think the pineal gland is growing. The pineal stalk is elongating through the brain.
Wait, so he's getting a brain boner? They really did invent an orgasm machine. Katherine decides to take Crawford back to the house to try and recreate the experiment. Now, because Crawford's considered both dangerously psychotic and a murder suspect, I'm assuming they're gonna have tons of police escorts at... Oh, just one? Well, he is played by Ken Foree, so I guess that is worth like a dozen regular guys.
I'm Sergeant Buford Brownlee, but my teammates call me Bubba. I used to play pro football. We were all crazy.
Listen, Ken, I appreciate the effort, but you are knocking out crazy Jeffrey Combs in this movie, okay? And not only did the experiment go wrong, but somebody turned the 9s on their address upside down.
Come on, Doc. There's nothing to be afraid of.
See what I tell you?
Bubba, you alright?
Alright, it's okay, everybody. It's just a fake-out scare. Nothing to worry about. And in addition to being a brilliant scientist, apparently Crawford's also Batman. How the hell did he disappear just now? While looking for him, they make a little discovery about Dr. Pretorius.
This guy was into some weird shit.
Yeah, that's right. To Dr. Pretorius, 50 Shades of Grey was some G-rated Care Bear shit. And there's Crawford. He's just posing for the back of the DVD.
You hacked up Pretorius?
That's where I hit it!
You know, maybe I was wrong. Maybe they do need to be afraid of Jeffrey Combs in this movie. And here's a tip. If you don't want people to think you're crazy, maybe don't creepily stare at them while they're sleeping.
He used to bring beautiful women here. They'd eat fine meals, drink fine wine, listen to music. But it always ended with screaming. And I would just lie there and listen to them.
Well, hey, whatever you're into. I ain't judging. Oh hey, never mind us, Doc. We were just standing here watching you sleep. Crawford repairs the resonator, although you'd think from experience he'd know reopening the door to freaky monster world isn't a great idea. Oh well, at least he installed a fan to help keep him cool this time. And is it just me, or does Ken Foree seem a little jealous Barbara Crampton's going for Jeffrey Combs and not him? And, oh right, monsters.
What the hell is that?
Something you shouldn't try and touch. Or just go ahead anyway, whatever you feel like. I think the alien from Without Warning is missing some of his parasites. And that's not the only surprise here.
Dr. Pretorius?
Not only did Pretorius grow his head back, but it looks like he got some additional shoulder hair too.
Is it really you, Edward?
Touch me, if it pleases you.
No, that's okay. I'll take your word for it. And damn it, quit trying to touch creepy shit!
It's just the body. Bodies change.
Pretorius may have turned into a hideous monster, but the creature effects he brought with him are top-notch.
That will be quite enough of that.
And so, having cleared Crawford of Pretorius' murder, they then destroyed the resonator and went home. The end. Okay, that's not the end. First they gotta have breakfast. It is the most important meal of a horror movie, after all.
Crawford, we saw the same things. We proved you're not insane.
And you discovered a parallel dimension of shape-shifting demons. I think that's kind of important. And that's not the only important discovery.
Well, how about the hard-on I got? Is there a statistical correlation for that, too?
Don't worry, Ken. That's just a normal side effect of being next to 80s Barbara Crampton. So, is there a reason they haven't left the house yet?
Well, we just have to try the experiment again.
Why?
Don't you understand? This is the greatest discovery since Van Leeuwenhoek first looked through a microscope and saw an amoeba.
Yeah, but he wasn't down there with the amoebas.
He's got a point. Learning about microbes helps with things like curing diseases. What exactly is the benefit to opening the door to slimy hellspawn world?
This could be the first step in curing schizophrenia.
Oh yeah, there's a great idea. Just let them know the horrible nightmare creatures they're seeing are actually real and constantly around them. I'm sure that'll make them feel much better. Crawford refuses to turn on the resonator again, but Katherine just can't resist giving herself another brain boner. Incidentally, I think Ken Foree might still have that hard-on he was talking about earlier.
Turn it off.
No. I have to see more. Feel more.
I guess it's appropriate the resonator makes people horny since it does come with its own strip club lighting. They soon find out, though, that opening a door to a horrifying demon dimension comes with a few negative consequences.
Listen to me. Whatever you are, you're still Edward Pretorius. You're still human.
Could have fooled me. And once again, I think Ken Foree's a little jealous Jeffrey got to make out with Barbara Crampton. I don't know if it'll cure schizophrenia, but hopefully this machine can cure the PTSD Catherine's gonna get for going through this. But once again, great creature effects in this movie. Ugh, this is pretty gross. Could we maybe cut to something a little less disturbing?
I be pimpy, ye forest flasher. Ha! Ooh, oh.
Okay, thanks, I guess. Good news, Crawford. There's a way to shut off the machine in the basement. Bad news? You gotta go through David Lynch's Dune to get to it. I know I keep mentioning the creature and makeup effects in this movie, but there's a good reason. They're pretty damn awesome. The effects team they got for this movie really brought their A-game here. Which is refreshing, considering most of the monsters I see on this show look like Satan's sock puppets. Okay, you're alive. Now destroy the machine and get the fuck out of there! I guess that giant worm was really an other-dimensional electric razor, since it seems to have given Crawford a haircut. Okay, they have to be leaving the house now, right?
No, I can stand right at the master switch and maintain control of that resonator, but I must do it myself.
I'm beginning to think you have a monster fetish, lady. Actually, you know what? I might be right about that, since she immediately starts playing with Pretorius's toys. Hello? You mean to tell me this attractive blonde woman is still attractive when she takes her glasses off and lets her hair down? Who knew? Yeah, nothing turns her on like a guy who looks like an even creepier version of Powder. Oh man, again with the creepy little white guy. Hello, big black man right here.
The van's ready. You going like that?
Hey, I'm cool with it if she is. And he shouldn't be surprised she's acting like this. She's into some pretty kinky shit. Also, it turns out the resonator doesn't care about science.
Shh! Listen, it's him. He's trying to start the resonator from beyond.
Title drop. They go to destroy the resonator, and I think the monsters from this dimension might be slipping a little. I don't know if flying kitty litter is as scary. Okay, never mind. Apparently they're deadlier than piranhas. Ugh, at this point it looks like Pretorius is slowly turning into a mutant pair of genitals. Plus I think his brain boner is fully developed now, and he's not the only one. Huh, I didn't know something could function as both a third eye and a third leg. Congratulations, Crawford, you're now a higher form of life. Or you're the Predator, I'm not really sure. Well, this may be disgusting, but again, great effects. And Katherine better do something quick before Pretorius goes all Wicked City on her. Fire extinguishers. His one weakness. And holy shit, you mean they finally left that house? Say, Crawford, is that a pineal gland in your head, or are you just happy to see her? Hopefully Catherine's doing alright.
That machine has got to be destroyed.
Yes, finally, thank you. The police don't believe Catherine's story and decide to have her committed, which is weird considering they've already seen this. Crawford may have greatly expanded his consciousness, but as a side effect, he can now only see in Sega CD vision. Alright, and I just referenced 3 Sega consoles in one video. That's a new record. Oh, and if you expected this movie to be less gory now that they're out of the house... Nope. I don't know why they're giving Katherine electroshock therapy. After what she's been through, this is probably the only way she can come anymore. Katherine escapes and goes back to the house. My guess is so she can spend more time in Pretorius' room. Oh, but Crawford can't let her go there alone. He's got to help out.
Oh,
All right.
Right after he kills some more people, that is. Those delicious brains aren't gonna eat themselves, you know. And I hope you're happy, Crawford. You just scared Charles Band's dad. Alright, time for Katherine to go straight up Wile E. Coyote on the Resonator's ass. Before she can do that, though, Crawford decides he wants to play a little game of 50 Shades of Pale. Oh, and if you think I'm going a little overboard with the penis jokes in this video... Ugh, she just Lorena Bobbitt his brain. Now that you know where the weak spot is, you just need to do the same thing to Pretorius.
The greatest sensual pleasure there is to know the desires of another mind.
I know your desires, you impotent pig!
No, don't call him names! Don't you know that's just gonna cause the effects team to kick into overdrive? You know, it's times like these I really wish I could use the Nostalgia Critic's Zool motherfucker joke. Things look pretty bad, but at least the effects team gives Katherine a break by helping her escape. Yeah, who's the gingerbread man now, Crawford? Also, please tell me that's just water on the stairs there. Oh no, Pretorius is there and Katherine can't disarm the bomb until it says 007. What is she gonna do? Yeah, fuck you, Pretorius. Jeffrey Combs is so awesome, even twisting his head off isn't enough to kill him. God damn, at this point it feels like this movie's trying to out-thing John Carpenter's The Thing. By the way, have I mentioned how awesome the creature effects in this movie are? I feel like I haven't mentioned that yet. Well, I tried disarming the bomb. You're on your own, Crawford. Don't worry, Katherine's okay. Kinda. And does wacky neighbor lady just live in that outfit?
It ain't no.
Okay, come on, Katherine. What happened to you is kind of funny, but it's not that funny. Katherine then rebuilt the resonator and tried the experiment again. She's kinda kinky like that. Unlike Reanimator, From Beyond was not a success at the box office, making only about a quarter of its budget back, which is too bad because it's a fun movie, and it's not just horror fans that think that. The movie got mostly good reviews when it came out, receiving positive nods from both Gene Siskel and the LA Times, and while it's not considered a cult classic like Reanimator is, in my opinion it deserves to be in the same category. It's weird, it's gross, it's trippy, it's sexy, well... sometimes, anyway. And like I said, there's a ton of great stuff for fans of practical creature effects. Hardcore H.P. Lovecraft fans may not like the liberties it takes with Lovecraft's story, but I say lighten up and enjoy the ride. Well, that's all for now. Until next time.